How cool is that? Yay! Clearly a different kind of video today, and clearly not the shop. This is the Shady Acres family room, home of a non-housekeeping bachelor apparently. Please overlook a lot of what you might see here. I tried to cover up much of it. I'm sure I didn't cover up all of it. But we're here today to talk about something that I've never done this before. Never had a sponsor. I still don't have a sponsor. But what I do have is a company that wanted me to try out their LaserPecker 2 laser engraving machine. And I was all over it. Not only because it looks like it's going to be totally fun to use, but totally useful for a wood turner and somebody that just likes to do crafts, hobbies, fun stuff. We're going to take a look at some of what this thing can do. Please stick with me. I think we're going to have a good time. Now, some of you will remember the mushroom box that I did. Oh, it's been a while now, a few months ago. Cute little guy. This is what I just engraved on the bottom. Shady Acres wood shop. It's got a little tree in the middle there. Now you can't see the tree really well because of the dark spot in the wood, but there's a little tree there, a little shady tree, and I always wanted to have a way to put my name on the bottom of the pieces. Not my signed name, I will always sign them, but my channel name, Shady Acres Woodshop. So this is cool for that, and it's going to be cool for a lot of things, which I think you're going to see here in just a second. I'm not going to call this video a review. I'm going to call it just practical uses for a laser engraver and wood turning. So I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be stammering. I'm going to be looking for words. None of this is prepared. This is just off the cuff. This is just me telling you about a cool new thing that I think will be useful to a lot of folks. So what I've got here, I don't know, looks like 1.5 inch dowel. Now my thinking is that I can now engrave the top of this with my new logo. Slice it off, burn another one, slice it off, burn another one. That's one way to do it. Let's try that and see how it works. So what you do, you have to be 110. Uh-oh, here's another thing. I am an old guy that never learned metric. I just never learned it. Partly because it wasn't taught when I was going to school. At least if it was, I wasn't paying attention, let's say that. But I really don't think it was taught. Maybe a tiny bit, teeny tiny bit, hardly anything at all, and nothing I paid attention to. And now that I'm 74 years old, I pay even less attention to it. I'm an inch guy. I don't know centimeters from millimeters from meters. I don't know. Thankfully they give you this little stick that's got centimeters. I think, don't laugh at me. I think 10 centimeters is a millimeter. Does that sound right? So if we go to 2, I think that's 20 millimeters. Is that right? Don't tell me. I don't care. I don't even want to know. Anyway, the main thing here is that the distance between whatever you're going to engrave, in this case the top of this, has to be 110 millimeters away from the bottom of this where the laser is. 110 millimeters away. So you can set this up here. You can do a couple of things. You can either measure it and then adjust the height right here, right on the column. You just push this button. If you push it short push, it just goes a little bit. If you hold it, it goes until you stop it or until it hits a limit switch. And what you want to do is get this, the corner of this, to touch the top of whatever it is you want to do. So that's pretty good right there. So now I'm going to put it under the middle, and also we could measure that. And we want it to say 11. That would be 110. I figured that out all by myself. Yep, that's what it is, 110. So we're going to put that there in the center. Then we're going to take our phone, because this runs on a phone app. Anybody seen my phone? I'm not good at this. I'm just going to walk you through what I'm learning here. So we're going to go, this is the phone app. This is how that thing runs. You can also run it off of a personal computer, but we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to go to album. I'm going to choose my gallery. I'm going to choose my logo. I'm going to choose how do I want it to look. It could look like that. It could look like this, like that. Like that, like that. Let's try that just for fun. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we'll save that, and then we'll go next. I can measure this. Let's measure it. Let's measure it in millimeters, centimeters, about 4.5 millimeters. I guess that's, I don't know. Let's say that we want to do 4 millimeters. That doesn't sound very big. Okay, so I'm going to enter for width here. I'm going to enter 4. I'm going to go with 4, but I know that's not right. It's just way too small. And then I'm going to say next. It doesn't really matter if it's 4 millimeters or not, because you get to do a preview. It's going to show us what size that's going to be. See that? See that tiny little mark? It's showing us where it's going to put it and the size of it. So we know that's not right. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to change my 4 to 40 and say next. Start preview. Now you see it can fall within those straight lines, which is probably just about right, but just to be safe, I'm going to change it to say 36 millimeters. See, millimeters. Okay. Next, start preview. Okay, I feel a little better about that. I can mess around with it and get it just right. I think that's close enough. Now, another cool thing you can do is you can rotate it, because what this does is it prints facing that direction away from you, which is okay. It doesn't matter. It's a round thing. We can just turn it around when we're all done. But if you want to watch it happen, you can rotate it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to rotate it on my screen here. See that? Rotate it again. Now it's upside down to the machine, but to us it's going to be right side up. Now it's transferring the file over, and I'm going to turn my fan on down here to blow some of the smoke out of the house, and I'm going to click start and be sure that it's secure. Yes, it is secure. Press yes, and now it's burning my logo, and it's very quick compared to most laser engravers. This is way faster than most of them. And we're done. And there it is. Now how cool is that? Isn't that cool? And it's actually engraved. You can feel it. It's as if someone took a little tiny router and routed those marks in there. Now you can slice that off. Of course, have any size dowel that you want to use, but you can slice those off and make these all day long and drill a hole and set them into the bottom of your bowl if you want to. Or you can do it right on the bowl, which we're going to do here in a minute, like we did the mushroom box. But you can actually even do it on the lathe. I wish I could show you that, but I can't go out to the shop today, but we'll get there. We'll get there. You're going to see it one of these days, just not today. Now here's why I think you can do it on the lathe while the piece is still mounted on the lathe. See this nut right here? We'll just loosen that nut. Then we're going to pull this out a little bit, and we can rotate this. I'll just turn it around so you can see it a little better. We can rotate it up like that and tighten it whatever angle we need. So just imagine that you have a bowl mounted on the lathe, haven't turned the inside yet, you've only turned the bottom. Well, you just bring this up to it, and you can burn your logo right in there while it's still mounted on the lathe. I think that's really handy. I darn near did that the other day when I did this one, which is last week's video. I had it all mounted up. That's why I haven't signed it, remember? I told you I'd show you why I haven't signed it, because I want to put the logo on there and then I'll sign it. But I had it all mounted up like that, and I almost came in the house and got this thing, but I didn't have a logo. But my new friend Tom Watson did a logo for me. But then you say, well, Phil, I've got a bunch of bowls already done, buddy. Well, then you can take the machine right off of the stand and you can put it right up here. And just like that, you got your logo engraved right on there. This one could have been a little bigger, but it's your choice. Yeah, should have been bigger. Yeah, should have been bigger, Phil. Okay, well, get over it. The one I haven't signed yet, let's turn that right upside down there. And there's the whole deal. Yeah, I probably could have gone larger. It's going to take some practice to see what works and what doesn't work. See the logo right in there? You got my little tree for shade, Shady Acres. And now I can sign it. Let's see what else we can do. This is too much fun. Let's try something pretty. Let's see what we can do on this. Now this piece of wood is not cut flat. It tapers. It's thinner in the back here. So I'm going to take this pencil and shim that up so that it's kind of flat. You're looking at my original bowl gouge. I would say that that has touched every single bowl I've ever turned, which is probably getting close to 250, maybe more by now. And I still use it, but I'm going to go ahead and engrave it. Gouge number 1. Now the folks at LaserPecker sent me the deluxe kit that has this roller mechanism with it as well, and that just fits right here on the base. And you can take something round like this dowel and set it on there, or something longer. I saw somebody doing a baseball bat, and engrave on there, and it'll turn and put a pattern on that. So let's see how that works. Well, this is either going to be interesting or a disaster. I can't quite tell. Sending the file. We're just going to see if this works. Q-tips. That's that little Q-tip container I turned a while back. I love it. I'll tell you what, every day when I open the medicine cabinet and I see this beautiful wood looking back at me instead of some plastic thing or whatever, I just love it. I have no idea what this is going to do, but we're going to find out. %, done. Let's see what we got out of that. That's cool, right? I suppose you could do something with that. I don't know what, but it looks cool. Well, we've engraved all manner of things today. Well, maybe not all manner. You can also put something like this. I got these at a yard sale for $1 a piece with the idea that I would put my daughter's name on them or something like that. Everybody's got a carpenter's pencil. Everybody's got a piece of wood, right? I mean, this is dang cool. Look how many coasters you could make out of something like that. Engraved on rock. This is really cool. Decoration on something. Make your own maker's mark. Your own logo coins. Easy peasy. On the bottom of the mushroom box. That's probably the nicest one that came out. That's about the first one I did, I think. That came out really well. This could have been a little bit bigger, but it's okay. That worked good. So you can do them on things that are already done. You can do them on the lathe. And I promise to show you that next time I have something mounted up on the lathe where I can do this. I'll show it to you right on the lathe. Gouge number 1 and my logo on my all-time favorite bowl gouge. Got my sweetheart's name on her hammer. I mean, just so many things. And it comes with a few samples. It came with a dog tag. It came with a piece of wood. This is actually the first thing I ever engraved with it. This is my daughter Stephanie and her husband Kelvin. And this is just a picture I had on my phone. When I brought it up, I printed it out, and there you have it, right on wood. Had this little tiny scrub brush. Put Kelvin's name on there. Just fun to play with, don't you think? And useful to a wood turner. Or any woodworker, I suppose, but I think especially to a wood turner. Everybody wants their logo on the bottom of their bowls and whatever it is they're making. Well, there you go. Easy peasy. So give them a look. LaserPecker 2. Thanks for tuning in, folks. This is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.